What's up, peeps? Julian Williams here at the distance. Pretty much got a break at work, so I got a chance to talk about this pullout of Kelly Pavlik. Right now, I'm at a historic place here in Dallas, the historic Williams Square, as you can see. Got people going to lunch. But anyway, Kelly Pavlik pulls out of his Saturday matchup against Daryl Cunningham. Stuff about money, management, this, that, and the other, who knows. But we all just know that Kelly Pavlik's pulled out of the upcoming bout against Daryl Cunningham. So, as we all know, over the last couple of years, Kelly Pavlik has been pulling out of fights left and right. We know it started probably in 2009 with Sergio Mora, the June 26th bout against Sergio Mora. It was supposed to be a pay-per-view. He got a staph infection in his hand, so that was pretty much, I guess you could say that's understandable. Staph infection does take a long time to heal, so he had to pull out of that bout. So other than let me get up because this fucking thing is burning my ass. But anyway, after the Sergio Mora bout, he was supposed to fight Paul Williams in like September, and then they kept pushing it back constantly. And, that fight ended up not happening. He pulled out and fought Hispana like 2 weeks later on December 19th. 2 weeks after Paul Williams had fought, Sergio Martinez. So he pulls out again. And after he pulls out of that fight, then he has to fight Sergio Martinez because the demand is high for a Sergio Martinez fight. So, he goes in, he fights Sergio Martinez. So after Sergio Martinez, we're hearing stories about him going to rehab and having alcohol problems and stuff. So, he did have to go and get that straightened out. And then, he pulled out of another fight here in Dallas on November the 13th for the undercard of Pacquiao versus Margarito. Pulled out again, and then when it looked like his career was somewhat back on track, when he won, I thought a close bout against Alfonso Lopez, when, his timing was off. He just kind of he didn't seem like the old Kelly Pavlik to an extent. But his timing was off and stuff like that, and it was just a close fight to where his resilience won him that fight, if you ask me. So he goes in, he fights Lopez, and looks like he's trying to get his career back on track, and then he pulls out of this bout against Daryl Cunningham. Daryl Cunningham, I guess you could say, was a tune-up, but could have been a possible tough challenge. You'll never know, maybe because he's been a little more active than Kelly Pavlik in the last couple of years. So he could have been a challenge. He could have had that advantage over him. But something to point out is he did have a loss in his career against Kevin Ingle, who just got knocked out in 2 rounds by Anthony Durrell about a week ago, last week. So with him losing that, not only that, what I'll give to him is that it was earlier in his career, but he is older. He's an older fighter. Started his career late, and he's getting a decent opportunity. So I hate the fact that Daryl Cunningham, the fighter that did start late, gets to kind of this point in his career basically doing nothing. The only notable opponent he's faced is Antoine Eccles, who's like a minor titleist back in the 90s. That was pretty much the only opponent that he's really faced. But also, we had to have seen it happen sometime. At some point, we had to have known that this fight was going to be pushed back. Who knows? But as everybody knows, I'm a big Kelly Pavlik fan. But I think that if it's money, Kelly Pavlik has done nothing to earn a $3 million or even a $1 million payday against anybody at the super middleweight division. I think that he does need to get his career back on track, and he can do it at 29 years old. He can do it. Like I said, while Daryl Cunningham was, losing to Kevin Ingle, Kelly Pavlik is the number 1 middleweight in the world. So I can understand, significant payday over him, but he doesn't really warrant $1 million paydays just yet in his career at this point. like I said, due to the fact of inactivity and not really facing name opponents and opponents that warrant him the $1 million paydays that he wants. And also his team. I think he needs a new team. I think a new team will be a breath of fresh air for Kelly Pavlik, due to the fact that he's an aggressive fighter, and he does seem to make little adjustments in fights, whether it's applying more pressure, whether it's throwing more punches. The fact that he's a tough fighter and he comes forward, throws at least 80 to 90 a round, and not only that, he does have a decent amateur pedigree. So Kelly Pavlik, I think needs a new team. He needs, and his career's gone on a downward spiral since October 18th against Bernard Hopkins when he lost that bout. His career's went into a downward spiral because years ago we were talking about him fighting Joe Calzaghe and how everybody wanted to see that fight, and the closest we got to that one was seeing it on Fight Night Round 4. That's the closest we got to it, or Don King prize fighter. But Kelly Pavlik, man, I think Kelly Pavlik is overall is a decent fighter. Very entertaining to watch due to the fact that he does provide you with a knockout, and he's tough and he comes back. He'll take a couple to give a couple. That's just the type of style that he has. But it really sucks that he did pull out of this fight. I think, like I said, I think he does need new management. I think he does need a new team, new trainer, just new people around him instead of the yes men that are around him. Because I think that's the problem, is that he has a lot of yes men in his corner. That everything he says, is like, okay, Kelly, all right, Kelly, okay, Kelly. And Kelly kind of does what he wants, and that's what leads to downward spirals like that, is having a bunch of yes men in your corner. But like I said, man, hopefully Kelly Pavlik gets all this stuff resolved and stops. Like I said, he shouldn't be all pissed about other fighters getting these paydays, which is the rumor. I'm not saying it's factual, but whatever. Like he should be just trying to build his career back and find a way to build his career back from basically being at major setbacks, because he dealt with 2 major setbacks last year and a major one in 2009, and he just needs to focus on just getting active again and fighting again and facing opponents that are going to bring him to the upper echelons where he believes that he should be and getting the paydays that he wants. So who knows? But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Got to get back to work because I get paid on the hour. So I'm out of here, guys. Have a good one. Peace.